and Evan Ravitz. Two names you might recognize. Evan Ravitz and Darren O'Connor used to be friends, but Darren O'Connor decided he was going to slander Evan Ravitz's name. How did Darren O'Connor get his name? By pretending to give a shit about the homeless. But every opportunity he had to help out an actual homeless victim, he went out of his way not to. He lied to all of the homeless victims, the actual homeless victims of Whalen Lolatai. Now, here's the thing. How did Darren O'Connor find out about the other victims of Whalen Lolatai? How did he know about those people before it was announced by the news? Well, that would be because there is one person who actually cared about Samuel Leon Lawrence IV's rights. There's one person who actually cared about Zaid Atkinson's rights. There's one person who actually cared about Michelle Rodriguez's rights. There is a grand total of one person who actually cared before it was popular. Michelle Rodriguez was homeless when she was assaulted by Whalen Lolatai. Darren O'Connor lied out his ass at her. Probably promised her the same things he promised me. She was going to try to help me. And then Darren O'Connor talked her out of it. Told her it wouldn't be in her best interest. No, listening to Darren O'Connor was not in her best interest. He completely fucked her. He fucked her over royally. God damn. Now, how many times have these officers found that they didn't do anything wrong, only for those officers to be put in prison? Or for those officers to cost Boulder, Colorado, literally millions of dollars? How many hundreds of thousands of dollars have been spent paying the victims of Whalen Lolatai? Which victims did people care about? Only the ones with houses. Only the ones in houses. And very specifically, only the black ones in houses. The rest of us didn't exist. We were a footnote. BLM doesn't give a fuck about the homeless or black people. They care about selling an agenda. If they didn't, they wouldn't be fighting for things that make things worse for all of us. All of us. Oh, you want to use the excuse that your granddaddy was owned by a white person as an excuse to enslave white people? No, fuck you. You're a dumb cunt. I'm sorry, asshole. But I'm not any more okay with a white man being enslaved than I am with a black man being enslaved. And I'm not going to pretend that the laws that are used to abuse black homeless people aren't used to abuse white homeless people as well. I'm not going to pretend that black victims' names don't exist. Only their numbers and statistics exist, like BLM. How many homeless black people so far has BLM fought to put at the forefront of all this? Literally not one. Matter of fact, they even went out of their way to ignore black homeless victims. Of course, in nearly all of those cases, it was black people in houses who committed those crimes against those black homeless people or other homeless people. If I tell you that my life matters, that makes me racist, doesn't it? Because I'm the wrong color. When a woman who was part of the Peace Corps, a woman who traveled around the world saving lives, has her brains blown out for saying all lives matters, and is treated by BLM and the black community as if she was racist for doing so. No, BLM is racist for selling this narrative and for victimizing my people, for victimizing their own people. How many black people out there are fighting for black homeless people? None. Not a fucking one. Your voices together make a lot of difference, but even you black folks are taught that homeless people are the people that you go to and you want to victimize somebody. When you didn't get your way, you go take it out on a homeless person. When you want to get free help, you go give a sob story to a homeless person. When you want someone to take it out on because you can't tell on your husband or you can't tell on your daddy, there's always a homeless person, isn't there? Christine Buheat may be dead, but her words about Darren O'Connor are recorded on my YouTube channel. Her actual words in her voice about Darren O'Connor. A lot of people wanted to push me onto Darren O'Connor. No. See, here's the thing. All of them wanted to defer and make it somebody else's responsibility to be an actual friend. Oh, I'm not an attorney. Fuck you. An attorney isn't going to look unless I have a friend or family member who give a shit. That's how the law works when you're called mentally ill, you dumb cunt. Maybe you should listen to the fucking victim. Guaranteed, the victim knows more about the fucking situation than you do. Meanwhile, I ask people for help. Why? Because that's what I'm supposed to do. When you're called mentally ill, you're supposed to go to your friends and family when you're abused. Because your friends and family are supposed to care enough to help you to turn it in for your safety. They're supposed to know well enough to understand that your life is literally at risk if you have to go in alone as an at-risk adult or a homeless person. When your at-risk child becomes an adult, no matter what arguments you guys may have had, no matter how butthurt you are that your child didn't turn out the way that you wanted them to, you need to help them. You need to help them like a real parent would. If you're not going to try to be a real fucking parent, the least you can do, instead of pushing it onto them that you're not going to help them unless they try to get disability. And then when they're denied disability, you abuse them because they didn't get disability. How about you try helping them to do that? How about you lend your fucking voice? If I am so mentally fucking retarded that I should be getting disability money, Dad, why don't you drop the fucking bullshit? Your fucking butthurt bitch ass. My dad was pissed off, wanted to throw it in my face that when I come out of the system, I was not some perfect kid like he expected. Oh, you think you go to prison for 38 counts of cocaine possession with intent to sell when your son is 4 years old? And then, of course, you don't see him again till he's 9? You really think he's going to be the same fucking kid? No. That amount of abuse should never be allowed. Take a look at the situation with Ryan Ingersoll. I needed a friend to help, and the way that she was going to help and the promises that she made, she didn't keep. She just ended up beating on children, and there was no way to get them to stop. No way to get them to stop at all. When I say them, I have to say them. Because it wasn't just Rand Ingersoll. It was also the alcoholic next door. When they sit there with those two girls in the camper and they talk shit about men the whole time. And then they want to force me to interact. Because they're drunk and they want attention. That's not okay. It's also not okay to molest me. And it's certainly not okay to urinate on me. By the way, Rand Ingersoll, she's dead too. But I saved her voice. The conversations that I had with her and I recorded, those are important. Especially now that she's dead. I've got a few recordings with dead people. And a few more with people who are soon to be dead. Depending upon whether or not they're to be believed. There seems to be a lot of people who come up with magic cancer when it comes to actually coming forward and keeping their word. It doesn't matter if these people took advantage of me for monetary gain or for entertainment purposes. The fact is that I am a human being. And treating any human being like that is not only undignified, it is fucking cowardly and horrible. It is demeaning, you fucks. God bless America. Now, as far as Darren O'Connor goes, I met him a lot of years ago, and of course he was gonna help with the whole, well, we need to be able to record it when police harass us, when they abuse us, when they beat the fuck out of us. We need to be able to record it, and he was gonna help with that. That whole not having the camera equipment to actually defend ourselves against the fucking Boulder Police Department. Yeah, that's what Darren O'Connor was going to help us with. In the end, he never did. He never made any effort to do so. Of course, I ended up getting a lot of that equipment eventually anyway. Finally got the money for it. And of course, I even learned how to use a lot of it. That's why I have Darren O'Connor's bitch ass recorded on my YouTube channel. He's a fucking chump. Then again, so's his former friend, Evan Ravitz. Evan Ravitz says they ain't friends no more because Darren O'Connor slandered his name too. Well, Darren O'Connor's a bitch. All these people who are witnesses to my situation that wanted to defer me to Darren O'Connor, they should have listened to me about the situation. But they didn't. Any excuse not to tell the truth. Well, fuck you, King of Nickels. Now the truth is out there. That I did tell the truth about you. And that money and where it came from. The fact that you do exist. What you should have come forward about from the very start, I got to record you admitting to. And you want to pretend like I'm a bad person because you told me a bunch of other personal business. No. You wanted to talk about yourself instead of help me turn it in. That's your own goddamn fault, King of Nickels. She wanted to pawn me off onto Darren O'Connor. A lot of people did. See, that's the problem with you wanting to make suggestions instead of coming forward and telling the truth. That's the problem with you wanting to send me to 400 other people that I've already gone to. that are already proven themselves to be fucking useless pieces of shit who never gave a fuck about me. Darren O'Connor is a world-class piece of shit, I'll give him that. He helped a lot of bad officers get away with literally murdering my friends. On the bright side, there is no statute of limitations on murder, and Daniel Kitlitz will have his justice. Darren O'Connor's approval need not be required.